you're going to probably see gold and silver continue rising, but with pullbacks. And I'm hoping we go through one of these cup and handle pullbacks where we get a pullback that lasts quite a few months here. Hi, this is Mike Maloney, and I've got Jeff Clark, the Senior Precious Metals Analyst at goldsilver.com with me today. Jeff just wrote a great article, and I wanted to call you, Jeff, and tell you congratulations. It's a great article, well written, very personal.
Yes, thank you, Mike. It's an honor that you would think so. So yes, it is a little more personal. I'm used to doing a lot of chart work and things like that and research, but this was a little more personal. And yet I think it's one of the most important topics that, especially today, where we stand today in society, politically, economically, monetarily, I think it's an important topic.
Yeah, the title is "The Doctor is In: Why Owning Gold and Silver Can Improve Your Mental Health." And it reminds me a lot of, years ago I did the top 10 reasons I own gold and silver. And my reason number one is I sleep better. So that's basically what you're saying in this article, right?
Yeah, so just to give a little bit of background, I haven't really talked about it a lot in the gold community, but I used to be a vocational rehabilitation counselor way back in my earlier life. And that's what my master's degree was in. And I worked with people who were disabled, who got hurt in the job, were permanently disabled and can no longer go back and do what they used to be able to do. So a construction worker, for example, that can no longer, hang sheetrock or whatever, and he had to find a completely different line of work. And I realized early on that I did have some success. I was in demand, and I attributed that success that I had to one thing in particular, and that was this. If I could give them hope, I had them. We could be successful. And a lot of times that really, really worked. And I relate that to today because we need hope as citizens and as investors, because otherwise we're relying solely on, paper money and political promises and other investments like stocks and bonds and real estate. And gold gives us something different. Gold gives us an edge. It gives us financial hope that we don't really have otherwise. And so I'm very thankful that we have gold and silver that we can invest in, because it does give us hope for the future.
Yeah. In my countdown, I've got 10 reasons I own gold and silver. And the number one is it makes me sleep better at night. And you talk about getting insurance before the storm hits, or before your house burns down, or before the tornado strikes, not after. Being able to relax a little gives you hope. You've got avenues. You're not, you don't have the anxiety that somebody has that's just all on one side of the boat, and that side of the boat is very speculative. So you talk about some of the reasons. It's real money, no counterparty risk. It'll always have value. It can't go to zero. It's not possible. Where the entire S&P 500, one day, every company in it won't exist. I think the only company that is in the Dow from back in the 20s that is left is General Electric, and I don't believe they're in the Dow anymore. So all the companies in the Dow have either gone by the wayside, merged with other companies, they're extinct, or they're small, and where gold is just forever. And we don't talk about silver enough sometimes. Silver is just gold on steroids. You agree?
Absolutely. That's been proven out by history. There's, any sort of research or glance through history, and that's exactly what you'll see. And silver's actually been money or actual currency more often than gold has been currency. Gold's been more in gold's used for a standard, but actual circulating currency has been silver more often in history than even gold has. And so that's why gold and silver should both be viewed as money, as you have insisted upon for many years now. Both of them should be. So you want to own, in my opinion, and again, as you always say, it's not advice, but I feel comfortable owning both metals. I don't want to own just one or the other. I want exposure to gold and I want exposure to silver, only in physical form. And I want it in physical form just because of the time we find ourselves in history right now, with all the turmoil and the type of crisis that could be ahead. It could be very, very important that we own physical as opposed to just having a paper product that gives us exposure to the price. We need the actual money, I think, in our hands or able to get it relatively easily. That's going to be important, I think, in the environment ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned the the political turmoil that's going on right now, and the economic turmoil. I really think that there's some really big stuff that's going to happen later this year and next year. And you talk about the three Fs. So tell me about the three Fs.
Well, I think because gold allows me to feel more grounded psychologically as an investor, the three F's for me are, I feel much stronger and have more hope about the future with those. The three F's being my finances, my future, and my family. So I think financially, this is the place to be. They're the only things that are not overvalued. Every other asset out there, major asset class, is arguably overvalued, if not in a bubble. So they're undervalued. They can also protect our future for our purchasing power, our standard of living. They're likely to rise tremendously in value going forward, and they'll protect my family. I have an asset, I have a tool that can defend my family against not just whether we get inflation, but any type of crisis that we might get. And that helps me sleep better too.
Yeah, you mentioned that everything was in a bubble except for gold and silver, basically. And, a lot of people do not measure gold and silver against the expansion of the currency supply. And that makes it very, very undervalued. There was one of my countdown for the reasons I own gold and silver it comes with a central bank guarantee. And that was the only thing in the video where I didn't finish describing the thought. The guarantee is that they will never stop printing fiat currency. And so gold has to catch up at some date. And you and I are writing a book, The Great Gold and Silver Rush of the 21st Century. And along came this thing that I can't mention because it seems like it hurts our YouTube stats if I say certain words. But along came this thing that people have been catching lately, and things started changing so fast. But I had spent months creating a chapter that just absolutely proved how overvalued all the other asset classes were. Just without exception, there was just nothing out there of value anymore. If you bought anything except for gold and silver, you were paying way too much for it, and the chances of it falling were greater than the chances of it continuing to go up forever, like people expect things to do. So, I just wanted to expand on that.
I agree, Mike. I think gold and silver do come with a central bank guarantee. And the reason they come with a guarantee, in my opinion, is because central bankers, as they have already shown in previous crises as well as this crisis, they're going to print currency. That's all they can do at this point. They've already lowered rates. The next step is to go negative, which would have tremendous consequences on the system here in the U.S. if the U.S. went negative, I think. So all they can do is print currency. And so that's the guarantee that the currency that we use, the money in our the dollar bill in our wallet, is not money, and it's going to be debased, devalued, and only gold, and that will directly benefit gold and silver, and that will cause them to soar. I think we're only just getting started. Someone asked me the other day, isn't it kind of too late with gold at all-time highs? And not when you look at the currency supply, it's not.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm hoping, There's some people talking about the potential of a cup and handle forming, which that's a technical pattern that will basically give us a little bit more time. And I'm actually hoping for a little bit more time. I think that they're beyond the point of no return when it comes to sort of a cataclysmic end to what they're doing. And the further that they can push this now, it really isn't going to be any worse. It's going to be, I think that there's going to be a banking crisis. And I think that the potential of the monetary system freezing up, I mean, we came within a day of that happening, both in long-term capital management in 1998, and then again with the global financial crisis. We came within a day of the whole financial system freezing up. And that means credit cards stop working, which means eventually the gas stops coming out of the pump, and then eventually there's no more power to your house, things like that. I just think what they've done to the monetary system, they've gone beyond the point of being able to repair it. And they have so much leverage in everything now, all forms of banking, that it can't withstand any major shock. And the Cerveza contagion has created a shock that is far worse than the system can withstand, in my opinion. What do you think?
I personally hope we have a little more time too, Mike, so I wouldn't be bothered at all if that cup and handle, as you say, plays out and gives us a little more time, because of what you and I think is coming, and other people as well. You know, I don't want to say inevitable, but it sure seems inevitable. Because of what we think is coming, I would rather have, instead of this much, gold and silver, I'd rather have this much gold and silver to be prepared for that. And so that's the simple reason. Some people are like, let's get on with it, but if we continue to accumulate, we have that much more financial preparation, financial hope, I might say, in keeping with our theme, for what the future may entail.
Yeah. And, we will get through it. There's going to be some days of chaos. Doug Casey used to say that things happen very slowly until the day they don't. And there's, you're going to probably see gold and silver continue rising, but with pullbacks. And I'm hoping we go through one of these cup and handle pullbacks where we get a pullback that lasts quite a few months here. And then it should be, I believe it'll be off to the races. And I think that there's some spectacular gains coming, but still, this is a very, I'm fearful for the general economy and the average person that isn't paying attention to what is going on.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, unfortunately, are going to get hurt. And the people that probably get the most hurt financially anyway will be people that have literally no exposure to gold and silver. So yeah. I think that there's going to come a point where it's going to be last train out. There's going to be one last opportunity. I don't know if it's the next one or not. My gut tells me it probably is. But at some point, it will be too late to buy gold and silver. And I really hope people will, heed that message and prepare themselves for it and get that hope.
Yeah, I do too. So I want to thank you so much. Again, great article. And to all of the viewers, go and read Jeff's article. Go to goldsilver.com. By the way, if you can help us out on making these videos and sort of spreading the word when it comes to economics and what's going on the planet, by just going to our website and checking the price of gold and silver there. Just visit the website now and then, and that actually helps our statistics and boosts the Google search ratings and things like that. So that, and then go and get my book for free, Guide to Investing in Gold and Silver, which has a whole bunch of economics in it and some monetary history. It's not just a guide, but it's very helpful, and it doesn't cost a dime. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and Jeff, thank you so much. And again, great article, good work.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. That means a lot coming from you, so I appreciate it very much. And I'll see you later this week with Chris Martenson.
Yes. Okay. Thanks.